Let's talk New York Mets baseball. The Mets were in Oakland yesterday afternoon for their series finale. They were already up 2-0, looking to sweep the A's, get that over with, and then head to LA to see the Dodgers. But the A's were having none of it. They were not letting the Blue Hat Bullies get off easy. They took these guys into extra innings. It was a long game. They fought hard, and I'll give it to them. They held their own. They put up a strong fight all the way up until the last minute. Really good game. Very different from the first game that we saw, that was completely abysmal. 17 walks. I mean, pitches in the dirt, errors left and right. I mean, it was just a crazy game. That first game was nothing but a headache. Anyway, the final score was 4-3 Mets. The Mets closed it out after 10 innings. Hate to say it, but the Mets were taken into extra innings by the Oakland A's. Yes, the Oakland A's, they're 3-12, whatever it is, whatever their record is. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head right now. But regardless, they're still a professional ball club. These guys are still really good ball players. So, we can't act as if they don't know what they're doing out there. They may not be good on an MLB level or whatnot, but I mean, they're still top-notch guys out there. So, they still know what they're doing. Overall, it was a good news day yesterday. We got some information on Brett Beatty. The number 2 prospect was called up. He's going to be taking his rightful place on the MLB throne. Okay, I know I'm messing around there a little bit, but he seems promising. He seems like he's the next thing up, and if he keeps doing what he was doing in the Triple A's, he is going to be the new leader of this team, and I can't wait to see it. I want him to do well. What happens with Escobar? That's the question. We'll get to that another time. The Mets did end up sweeping Oakland, as we already know. They pulled it off in extra innings. Jose Butto, the new guy, he was moved up on Saturday. And to be honest, he didn't do all that bad. He wasn't perfect at all. It wasn't a standout performance, but I'll take what he had to offer. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 1 run, had 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. Like I said, not perfect, but okay. Considering that it was the A's he was facing, some would argue that those numbers are horrible. I'd give it to them. They do have an argument. But like I said, I'll take it. The A's are not, a AAA team. They're professional. These are professional players out there. So, I mean, he's still got to pitch to some guys who are up there in the big leagues in the majors and know what they're doing. Budo is now sitting on a 1.80 ERA on his first start of this 2023 season. I don't know if they're going to keep him up. I don't know if they're going to send him back down or how many games he's up for or whatnot. We do know that Scherzer will be back on Wednesday. He'll be pitching Wednesday afternoon in LA. So I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see what happens. Offensively, Tommy Pham was clutch today, coming through with a homer in the top of the second. Lindor followed up Pham with a homer of his own. The 9th inning, the Mets were down 3-2. Pete Alonso, Big Meat Pete, homers to tie the ball game. And if you ask me, the most amazing part of this entire series is that of all people, Eduardo Escobar scores the winning run off of a wild pitch by Zach Jackson of the A's. I mean, you couldn't write anything any different. Now, granted, he was given the base or whatnot because of the ghost man rule or whatnot. But isn't it amazing that Eduardo Escobar has been having such a rough time? They move Beatty up, and then he gets the scoring run. I mean, you can't write this stuff. After an abysmal first game, this last game of the series was definitely worth it. It was jam-packed with drama. It was great baseball to watch. Batters getting hit, wild pitches. Not saying that batters getting hit is a good thing. I'm just saying it was baseball. Batters getting hit, wild pitches, runners scoring off of wild pitches. It was fun. It was exciting, and it was a very different game from the first game. I know I've said that multiple times, but it really was a good game. If you watched it, you know what I mean. All in all, the Mets did everything they needed to do to stay in the game. Pitching wasn't that bad. Offense was there when it needed to be. It wasn't the best offense, but it was there when it needed to be. When we really needed big hits, we got those hits. We saw the homers come exactly when we needed them. This was a come from behind win. The Mets were down, so seeing them come up from behind and win was incredible. Alonso really put us in a good spot with that home run there in the ninth. They had 34 at bats, 6 hits, walked 7 times, and struck out 6 times. 6 times. Not exactly phenomenal, like I said, but enough to take the game. That's what we needed. We needed the win. We needed to get the sweep. We got it. We don't need anything else other than that. There's a few areas and there's a few things that they could, spruce up on, but that'll come in time. It's still early in the season. They've got some developing to do. They've got to get comfortable. And once they get there, I think that we'll really start to see them get into their groove and really start to move along. It's not like they're, one of the worst teams in the MLB. They're still considered one of the best teams in Major League. And, they're headed on the right path, the right track if you ask me, coming off of a sweep. One thing I want to talk about that I did notice is that it seemed like the A's were eager to try Francisco Alvarez's arm when it comes to stealing bases. I don't know if that's due to the new base size or whatnot. The guys are a little more inclined to steal with the new base sizes, but I think that they know that he's the new guy and they're testing him behind the plate just to see what he's got, to see what he can do. They advanced several times in yesterday's game, and he definitely needs to work on shutting that down if he wants to spruce up his defense, in my opinion. But who am I? Just a guy talking into a microphone, right? Buck knows more than me. Buck says that he's okay with what Alvarez is doing. He likes what Alvarez is doing. So, we'll go with what Buck has to say for now until we see different. And I also think that that's a good thing that Buck is saying good things about him publicly, Alvarez, that is, because it's kind of keeping him feeling confident and knowing that he's going to be a part of the team, and he's a factor and he's appreciated as being a part of the team. If you make a guy feel like he's not wanted, like there's no confidence in him, then those results are going to show on the field. But I think the more reps that Alvarez gets, he'll be fine. I think they should keep him in there more often. We saw him sitting on the bench a couple of times. I think they should keep him in there a little bit more just to get his footing. That way he gets much more comfortable. We saw him, I think there was a couple of steals he didn't even try for him. So we'll see. He knows better than I do. He's up there playing in the majors, but we'll see. Like I said, it was a good game. We had extra innings, so we got a little bit more baseball to watch. It went back and forth, wild pitches, home runs, stolen bases, etc. It was definitely fun baseball to watch. The Blue Hats are visiting the Dodgers today. It's a late one. It's at 10:10 p.m. It looks like David Peterson will be back on the mound tonight. He's 0 for 2, 4.91 ERA. Not the greatest, but he has 16 strikeouts. Peterson is second behind Kodai Senga on the Mets in strikeouts. Senga has 21 Ks. Can't wait to see Senga back on the mound again. He had not his best showing the other day, so I'd like to see him come back and make good on, his last game. But that's about it. Let's see what the Blue Hat Bullies can do tonight to start off this 3-game series at the Dodgers. The Mets are now 10-6. They're second in the NL East behind the Braves, who are 12-4. Those pesky Braves. We'll be seeing them soon. They'll be coming up to New York real soon in the next couple of weeks or so or whatnot. That should be a lot of fun. But for now, the Mets have to go face an 8-8 Dodgers. They are a better team than the team that we just faced. I don't believe that they're going to get a sweep in this series. It would be amazing if they did, but they're playing a better team. The Dodgers are 8-8, and this is a 3-game series. We'll be all over it. We'll be covering, and any new news or anything that comes out, I'm going to try to stay on top of it. That's it for now. That's it for this one. I appreciate everybody who sticks around and listens and appreciates the channel. Thank you very much. Let's go Mets.